so much easier when I'm drunk. All right, guys, New Age Tactical here, back with another video. Something we're somewhat familiar with. We've done one or two. We said in a previous video we were contacted by Craft Holsters. Got two different versions. Probably did about 2 weeks, 3 weeks with each. We'll go into a little bit more, but when I'm out and about, just running to the store, what I usually do is wear, just normal jeans. I always wear an undershirt no matter what. And I always throw on, whether it's a bigger t-shirt or bigger long sleeve tee. So, as far as concealment wise, I'm outside here. Now, the one thing that has nothing to do with this holster is these jeans actually have the belt loops in real weird spots. They're cheaper jeans. So, this is the furthest to 4 o'clock I can really have it. So it's not quite where I usually carry if it was in my waistband. So it's a little further back. But again, that's not really the holster's fault. That's more these cheap-ass jeans' fault. By recommendation, which we're going to give you a little shout-out here, someone said get a Blue Alpha Gear belt. I went and got one, which I love. We'll do a different review on that at a different time. But that's what I've been carrying it on. You can see that's how it's going to sit. The gun has been cleared. It's not loaded. I checked it 500 times. But I did put the mag back in just so I can get that full position on the handgun there. First things first, sitting down, this holster is awesome because it's not digging into anything. It's on the outside. However, your shirt kind of rides up when you're sitting down, and it does peek out a little bit. I think if it sat up a little higher, it would be okay.
I agree. I can see printing right now. It's obvious, but if you just had it a little bit more.
Obviously, I'm a bigger guy. I'm fat. But as far as comfortability, however you say that word, this thing is phenomenal. This thing, you don't feel like you're wearing it. You have no idea it's there. Especially with the new belt. The belt's actually a little loose right now, but when the belt's on right, it's perfect. As for drawing, you get a full profile. So that's even with an EDC carry belt meant for carrying a holster. And again, I'll show everyone. Empty mag. This is the part that was bothering me a little bit. When you're putting it back in, unlike a Kydex holster where you actually have the hole waiting for you, this one kind of folds in a little bit because it's leather. To find it's a little harder to reholster. When you are reholstering, the problem that I see is it's like that's not even, that's about as good as it's going to get. So the way I had a holster was I actually had to hold the slide. Otherwise, if I didn't, it actually pushes the slide back up. Again, this can be a break-in thing, so I'm not super worried about it. I looked up all the tips and tricks on how to break in a leather holster. I never owned leather before, so don't castrate us for that. The break-in period was a little rough, and it's still, to this day, this is still pretty damn solid. Just draw-wise, if I really need to get this quick, I guess it can, it's just more or less the reholstering, and I'll show you. See, look, I can't find it. I found it now, but watch if I reholster without holding the slide. You got to really hold the slide down and then push. And I kind of feel the bottom to make sure it's all the way in. You don't even, that's my biggest pet peeve about this is you don't even know when it's fully in there. And my biggest thing here too is making sure the trigger's covered, because obviously no one wants to shoot themselves in the leg or the dick. It's kind of funny, sorry if my ass shows. So if you put a little pressure on it, you really need that gun quick, it's pretty fast actually. But you do get that resistance that you wouldn't get with a Kydex. All right, we'll take it to the table for the rest. You seen the holster on my fat ass there. Break-in wise, the break-in kit I think was more or less just for to dab, around the edges, not really
For the whole leather.
For the whole leather holster, yeah. Gun in bag, in holster for 96 hours. I tried 24, barely did anything. Tried 48, still really nothing. 72 started to break it in, and I went another 24, and I did 96. And then I started feeling where I can get the gun in and out. When I first opened it, I could barely get the gun in there. I could barely get the gun out. It was actually like, it hurt, you know? And it was pushing the slide back to the point where it would have probably chambered around if it went back any further. After breaking in a little bit, it got better and better and better and better. And even at tonight, it was better than it was yesterday. So I'm sure that this thing is going to just mold to your firearm. I think it'd be sick to have.
I think that's what it is like when you get involved in leather, you're getting involved in a second hobby.
In a lifetime. This is like a lifetime choice.
Yes. Like, this is yours for now, for the next many, many years.
And this is one of those holsters I'm telling you would probably last you 30, 40, 50 years. After having the firearm in there with the bag, right? I took it out. It was still a little rough, still stiff. And I'm like, you know what? Man, you got to think about like a baseball glove when you're a kid. What'd you do with a baseball glove? You sat there, you worked it, you threw the ball in it, you worked it.
What was the thing with the oven?
You put a ball in it and threw it in the oven.
Like with rubber bands around it and like that?
No, the rubber bands were the lotion or the oils. Not lotion. I'm thinking of Sandlot where he puts oil of Olay on.
Oh, yeah.
Puts them on his glove.
We didn't exactly cover using the break-in kit because Craft Holsters has their own YouTube channel. Check it out in the corner if you'd like. They have full videos on how to use their break-in kit.
I kind of started working it, playing with it, like sitting there watching
But then
TV.
I got scared because the one video's like, don't overwork it. And I'm like, whoa.
And I thought about that too, but I was at the point where it was so stiff, I'm like, I don't give a if I overwork it. I need it to feel somewhat decent, somewhat comfortable. And after doing that for about 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, it made such a difference on how it fit and just so much more comfortable. I wouldn't put my hand there if the gun was loaded, just so you know. I don't want to hear it. I know I did what I did, and I did it for a reason. Off body, you can see what I was talking about. Again, 100% clear. Just holstering it. You got to hold the slide down. When it's not on a belt and you don't have that solid. Actually, it wasn't too bad. No, they're pretty broken.
Better.
Yeah. I know if I wore this for a couple months, it's going to break in more and more and more. Example?
This is something that has gone through box after box after box for over 50 years in our family. Now, this did belong to our grandfather. I mean, this just
allegedly.
Allegedly. We don't even know.
Allegedly, our grandfather was a police officer in New York.
Drinking.
No. I should be drinking. And this is what he actually wore on his gun belt. And we use this for airsoft guns, BB guns. And, I mean, you can see how soft it is.
But it's to stand that leather stands the test of time.
This has got to be 50 plus years old. So I know the break-in period wise, it's going to take longer than what we were able to test it. And you know what? Maybe we'll do a follow-up. But the problem here, this is where.
Comfort-wise, how did you feel throughout that whole thing?
Very comfortable. But again, this is an outside. So to put it up against any inside is kind of unfair. That's kind of like apples and bananas and shit. But I do like this style of carry. If it sat just a little higher, I think it'd be a little bit more concealed, and I wouldn't worry about it. I was actually kind of like a first-time carrier when I was wearing this one because I'm like, did my short catch on it? Is it sitting up too high? You know what I mean? Like, those things bothered me because I don't care if people see it, but I really don't want people seeing it. You know what I mean? So I'm one of those guys I conceal and conceal only. And I'm sure it's going to hold retention from the way it's sewn and everything, but at what point does the retention start to give out? You know what I mean? And again, these are more questions for you leather holster guys out there because I'm not one of them. I've only had Kydex for years. I've always wanted to try a leather, and this is definitely one of the best ones that I think I could have tried. Super high quality, great stitching. Con-wise, first thing, I had to take my light off. Not too big of a deal, I guess. but it was one of those things that kind of like threw me off. Second thing, I'm sure I could widen these, but holy shit, it's hard to get on a belt. Like, even let's take the Blue Alpha Gear belt. Like, I had to take one of the buckles off, feed it through, position it the right way, put the buckle belt back on, and then feed it through my pants so it could fit, because there was no way a buckle was fitting through these holes. Again, that might be something that you could probably trim out, or even it might even break in after a while. It just hasn't broken in yet. Long and short of it, I think I'm a Kydex guy. It's no offense to the leather guys. Leather guys, this is an awesome holster. I love it. I just like the Kydex click. I like the Kydex feel, even though it's more uncomfortable. No bullshit. I mean, but I got nothing bad to say about it. It's just my personal opinion. My cons are probably things that would eventually go away if you just wore it for 6 months.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Or maybe 4 months, 3 months. Who knows? I only wore each one of them for a little over 2 weeks.
As a fat guy, there was really not much of a difference. There was no change up. There was no adjustment that you needed just being different inside. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of one of those weird fat guys, though. I adapt.
Amphibifat.
No, but I can't tell you how many holsters I've owned for this particular firearm itself. I've probably owned 8 or 9 holsters before I found one I actually liked. And the one I found that I liked was the cheapest one that I found on Amazon, and it was super solid. Kydex, but I think I liked it because it was a single clip, could kind of clip anywhere on your pants type thing. Like, if I went out for a walk, I'm wearing, just jogging shorts or whatever, you got the clip, you can kind of clip it to your jogging shorts. This one, you need to wear a belt for. This is kind of like the gentleman's carry type style. Like, you're going out, night on town. I'm sure there's got a lot of leather guys out there that are like, what the jerk off that he likes Kydex and not this genuine, great leather holster. I couldn't ask for anything more. Just maybe not my cup of tea. Hit us up with some comments. Let me know what I did wrong, if I did something wrong.
If you have a better break-in method.
And what your preference is. Whatever it might be.
I feel like you are going to get those guys that are like, hang in there! You know, like, no, yeah, come on!
And I'm willing to do it. Like, because it's not a big difference of like, oh my God, I hate this and I love this. It's just the more of like, my preference leans more towards Kydex. So
still open to trying other
Yeah, so give me some rebuttal on why leather is better than Kydex. You give me a couple solid reasons, it might make me really rethink my whole opinion on the matter. A big shout out to Craft Holsters. I mean, giving us the shot, to try these out.
Because it gave us a chance to experiment.
Yeah.
With something that we probably would have took years before we experimented ourselves.
And review-wise, I wish I had more to say about it, but holster's kind of hard because you can't say, this isn't the Wild West where you could be like, yeah, I went out and got in a gunfight and my gun got stuck in, you know what I mean? So nowadays, it's you wear it and God hope you don't ever have to use it. You can go to the range and shoot and stuff like that, but with all this that's going on, COVID and snow and cold, we really didn't have a chance to go to the range and practice drawing and stuff. I did practice draws in my office. I practiced draws down here just to see how it felt.
And other than that, thank you, Craft Holsters.
Yeah, I was
You're the man
say,
now.
Another shout out to you guys, man. This has been an awesome test. Kind of really opened my eyes on the differences. You know, we still have one more to review.
Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, hit the bell.
We'll put a link to Craft Holsters in the comments, and we'll put a link to their break-in videos too, because they're pretty solid break-in videos.
They also sound a lot cooler than us.
Yeah, big time. Just look more professional. That dude's like a lumberjack.
It's a mean beard.
Yeah, dude.
I was jealous of that beard.
New Age Tactical.
Over and out.